Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, for those of you that normally view me, stick with me here. For those of you that normally view me, if I come on at 3:30, 4 a.m., you know there's something I'm pretty fired up about. And I am. So let's get right into it. The rapper Nuke Bizzle. What up, Nuke? I don't sound cool being a 54-year-old white guy in Connecticut talking about rap. But anyway, so he gets caught in Las Vegas. I think the charges are allegedly that they linked over $700,000 worth of funds going to Las Vegas, linked to him through these cards. These are unemployment people that have lost their jobs due to COVID-19 file claims, and these are relief funds for them, for the people having lost their jobs because of COVID-19. Now, to be honest with you guys, I didn't know. To be honest with you guys, I don't think I've ever heard about this. If you ask me, I'd assume, of course, there's scams connected to everything in these days, but I don't think I specifically heard about this. Okay, so we turn on the news. It's all over the news today. Nuke Bizzle, rapper Nuke Bizzle, that's his platform name. His real name is Fontrell Antonio Baines, 31-year-old rapper, residence in Los Angeles. Okay, and like I said, he raps. He got caught because he's on YouTube here, rapping about this. I know I don't sound cool at all talking about this, rapping about this. Anyway, okay. Some of the lines in the lyrics or something along the lines like, you don't have to sell cocaine, you just got to make claims, meaning false unemployment claims. All right. Okay, so we all see this video. It's plastered all over the news. It's all over everywhere, all over YouTube. You Google it. There's, right off the bat, there's 10 responses, all with this guy's name. Okay. So let's look at this from a few different perspectives. If I was, let's assume I'm a MAGA man, a Trump supporter, how would I look at this? All right. Well, here we got some of these BLM supporters, these guys, these Antifa here, ripping off us hardworking Americans. Hardworking Americans. Probably insinuates hardworking Caucasian Americans. If I was a MAGA supporter, all right, and look what's going on here. Donald Trump's going to put an end to this. All right, and I'm sure there'd be a lot more. I can't bring myself to say more. Oh, if I was a MAGA supporter, I'd probably make fun of his name too. Say something like Fontrell, Montrell, Rontrell, whatever, because we know that's what MAGA supporters do. If anybody has a name that's not specifically like a white sounding name like Sam or Bob or Clem or Buck, then they make fun of it. So like we heard of it with Kamala Mala. Boy, that ticked me off. All right, now let's look at it. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to call myself out on this. I'm not a MAGA supporter. This is where the MAGA viewers, there's a lot of people that tuned in already because they wanted to see somebody rage against the black guy. You're not going to get that here. All right, so I gave it away. I'm not a MAGA supporter, for those of you that aren't familiar with my channel. But I'm going to call myself out on how I did initially look at this. And I'm going to tell you guys what I thought. When I first saw this story, I posted it to Facebook because I saw this guy doing this, and I was like, shoot, this sets back the BLM movement. This gives the MAGA supporters something to crow about, something to complain about. And you know what? I'm calling myself out here, but in the back of my head, I kind of said, you're not doing other black men any favors by doing this. And that's what I said in the back of my head. And before you take me to task, I thought about that. And I was going to text that out in my Facebook. And I thought about that. And I started thinking, maybe I'm just seeing a part of this story. And I started thinking, could it be just this black guy, this black rapper that's doing this? So I started Googling, Florida man Florida man arrested for taking COVID relief funds. Bunch of names: Sam, Clem, Bob, McWhitter. I'm just making these names up. They don't sound like Fontrell's name at all. But so I go, this is more widespread than I thought. So I started Googling other states. And I started thinking about this. And I was like, well, how about if I start Googling states with a higher population of Caucasian people? And so I said, okay, how about North Dakota? North Dakota man arrested for embezzling or stealing COVID-19 unemployment funds. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm going to put the links. There's going to be a bunch of links at the bottom of this video because I copied all the links to each state. I was like, wow, this is a lot more widespread than I thought. So I tried Montana, very Caucasian state. Bam, 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 bam. Man caught embezzling funds. Man caught embezzling funds. Wow. So I keep doing this. Montana, Wyoming, just to get a feel. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. Well, maybe it is a white thing. Wait a second. So I Google what are the states with the highest population, the highest Caucasian populations. Maine, top of the list. I didn't know that. I would have thought it would have been Idaho, honestly. But it wasn't. My Google of the states with the highest Caucasian population was Maine. I can't remember now. Maine, Washington, Hawaii. I'm not sure, but Maine was at the top of the list, okay? Highest Caucasian population. So, then I Googled state with the highest reported COVID-19 unemployment fraud. Guess what came back? Number one, Maine. Holy cow. The state with the highest Caucasian population also had the highest reported abuse of unemployment, COVID-19 unemployment claims, ripoffs. Imagine that. So I was looking at this totally wrong. The media presented this. It's all over the news now. This guy, this black guy gets caught, this black rapper gets caught stealing COVID-19 funds. $1.2 million in relief funds. Oh, imagine that. He's ripping off these poor Americans suffering through COVID-19. But if you look deeper into the story, this is going, like I said, all the links are down below. This has been going on since this began back in March. And like I said, one more time, links are down below. This has been going on in every state. 32 people caught, 50 people caught, 112 cases caught, thousands of cases caught. State after state. And a lot of the states, and then the states with the highest reported unemployment fraudulent claims, like I said, was Maine, Hawaii, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and I can't remember the rest, but like I said, I'll put the links down below. A lot of the states were states you wouldn't imagine, you wouldn't figure. To be honest, this is one thing I hadn't quite looked up yet. If they were Democrat run or Republican run, I'm sure Trump's reporters are going to bring that up, but I don't see any of that. Whether it's black people, white people, Republican people, or Democrat people, I think it's just dishonest people doing this. That's the bottom line. I didn't need to look up if it's what difference would it make if it's a Republican state or a Democrat state? How would that alter anything? I don't know. You guys could look it up for yourselves. But I'm taking myself to task on how I initially looked at this. I initially thought, geez, this black guy is doing the rest of the black population a disservice by by doing this, it makes a lot of black people look guilty. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And I was like, well, then I started thinking, I was like, well, what about all the white people doing all these crimes? What about the mass murderers? All the mass murderers, the serial killers that are white. Why don't I do that with them? Why don't I post a picture of the next serial killer and go, look, this guy's making all Caucasian people look bad. I don't do that, do I? No, I don't. So I thought about that, and I called myself to task for it, and I was, and I'm glad I did. This isn't a black thing by any stretch of the imagination. If you want to look at the facts, it's more of a Caucasian, a white thing. So, something to think about today. All right, I'll be back with another video. I got more stuff to talk about. You guys have a good Monday.